Srideep sir, you can share the screen. Okay. Good morning and welcome you all to the session on this cyber safety and information security. So this session we are organizing as part of our National Cyber Security Awareness Month. So we thought like it is exclusively for Kerala, but other state people have also joined for this session. So this session we have planned for 1.5 hours or so. So with this background, I request Srideep sir from CDAC Thiruvananthapuram to start the session on cyber safety and information security. So please start the session, sir. Please make it full
Okay.
screen and they can start the session. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we were giving it in YouTube live also so that people
Okay,
can
sir.
watch.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, am I audible, all of you? Good morning, you all.
Yeah, good morning, sir. You are audible. Please go ahead, sir.
Audible. Okay, sir. And thank you, Jagdish sir, for giving us an opportunity to deliver a small session on the ISCA as part of ISCA. And we are very, very much thankful to Jagdish sir and Murthy sir for giving us this opportunity. And I welcome you all for this particular session. That is, we will take it around 1.5 hours to complete the session. And that is, as Jagdish sir already told, we actually plan to take it in Malayalam, but since some other state students or other states people have already joined, so I'll just make it. The talk will be conducted in English also. Okay, I'll just say some small things in Malayalam so that the Malayali guys are also able to understand the concept. Okay. So with this, we will start the session, and I feel like all of you are comfortable with. So these are the things that we are going to see in a quick span. That is, I told you around 1.5 hours, we are going to complete this particular session. And starting from the very simple basic, as you all know, internet usage. You know, internet usage have started. It's going like a rocket, as you all know. Most of the people now, actually, when it comes to the pandemic situation, all of you are actually getting involved in the internet usage activities, and most of the things that we are being connected, each and everyone, through this internet activity. But we cannot say that 100% all of you are doing internet activity for the good thing alone. We so many what is that the crime scenarios are also being done as part of the internet activity, and we today we are just focusing on the crime scenarios that has happened throughout. Or we all know that when it comes to the pandemic situations, we the crimes are also have a drastic increase, as the number of crimes have already have a drastic increase in the current scenario. So we will just have to focus on what are the important crimes, what are the important information security threats that we are having in the current scenario, as well as we have to have some remedies on that. That is what we are focusing on. And going to the first one, crimes, as we all know, actually we all know that now we are not at all interested in the real world crimes. We know that there are two types of crimes, that is real world crimes as well as virtual world crimes, and we are not at all interested in the real world crimes nowadays, because actually the effort that you are going to take, the effort that you are going to take in the real world crime is a huge compared to what has happened in the case of a virtual world crime. Because actually virtual world crime, when we talk about virtual world crime, if you have a very good laptop, if you have a very good internet connectivity, if you are available in a closed room, anything can happen. Anything can happen in the sense any crime can be committed. So that is the very simple idea of a virtual world crime. I am not just, I told you that as I'll just shift my language to Malayalam also. Within ഒരു ചെറിയ റൂമിൽ with a high speed internet as well as with a high speed എന്താ പറയാ ഒരു ഗുഡ് ലാപ്ടോപ്പ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് എന്ത് ക്രൈമും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആണ്. We are actually in that particular scenario that currently we are having. Okay. Now, what is a crime? As you all know, it's a very simple statement which is available in Wikipedia. It's a crime that involves computer and network. The crime, the computer may have used in the commission of a crime. That is actually you in a simple statement. We can say that the device, the electronic device that is involved in a crime, can be acted as either a tool or a target. Okay, that is the simple statement of a crime. Whenever you have an electronic device, it can be used as a tool for committing a crime, or it can be made as a target for a crime. So in that case, we call it as a cyber crime, or it is a computer crime, or a digital device crime that we call it as. Now, this is a very, very important statement. We all know that. It's very, very, very dangerous. The crime that has happened or crime that is going to happen in the case of a internet world is very, very dangerous. Why? I told you, it's already there in a very good statement by the Chief General Staff of People Liberation Army of China. That is, if the internet security cannot be controlled, it is not an exaggeration to say that the effect would be equivalent to that of a nuclear bomb. You all know that how a nuclear bomb, we haven't faced that particular scenario, but we know that from the data we got it from Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We know that how much effective or how much dangerous a nuclear bomb. And when you come across the cyber crime, it is more than that. That is the impact of the cyber crime that we have to come across. Okay. Now, this is actually the crime rate that has happened in the year 2021 as well as 2020 as well as 2021. That is, it has a dramatic increase. In the case of state of Kerala also, we have a drastic increase in the number of crimes. We all know that ഒരുപാട് cases have been last to one and a half years. We have come across a lot of cases or large number of cases in the newspapers, in the electronic medias we have seen. We know that the number of crimes have a huge impact or a huge the increase in the number of crimes have a huge impact on the current society. We all know that. Now, who is a criminal? We all have to say about who is a criminal. One who is committing a cyber crime, we call it as he is nothing but a cyber criminal. Okay, a person who is committing a cyber crime with an intention of causing damage to the computer under consideration is called by the name cyber criminal. Okay. Now, when you come across the cyber criminals, we have a set of criminals available. We cannot, all these criminals, we call it as cyber criminals, but we have a differentiation of the individual persons who are behind the, who are involved in the criminal activities, called by the name hackers, crackers, insiders, virus writers, and terrorists. That is cyber terrorists. Hackers, as you all know, some of the most the people who are unintentional, who are actually without the permission of a person, who is trying to intrude into a system, into a network, into a computer, called by the name hackers. Whereas the hackers are actually divided into two, as hackers can be, I'm not going into the technical term, that is hackers can be dangerous hackers or what is that? Dangerous hackers as well as ethical hackers. Now, the people who are called by the name dangerous hackers, that is the intention of the dangerous hackers will be definitely to destroy the device, or you can call it as the destroy the network. Those people are called by the name crackers. Whereas the ethical hacking, those who are making, those who are doing some activities to counterfeit the particular cracking activity or the hacker activity, we call it as ethical hackers. And today I'm talking only about the cyber criminals. So ethical hacking concepts are not being included inside. We are talking only about the criminal activity, so that crackers, very importantly, the dangerous person. Then insiders. In any organization, we know that the most dangerous people inside, or the most dangerous people involved in the cyber activity or the cyber criminal activity, is the insiders, because the insiders may be definitely knowing each and every corner of the activity, the organization, each and every activity of the organization, and they can be very, very dangerous in the current scenario. Okay, then virus writers, as you all know, we know that we are always depending on antivirus softwares. So whenever you need to have an antivirus software, definitely there should be, means whenever we are just buying an antivirus software, there should be have some updates, and we have to go buy the licensed version, the updates. Now, whenever you need an updates in the case of a virus, definitely there should be having some virus activity that it should be there, because actually, if you are not buying an update, if you are not having a new virus, then there is no need for going for a updates for the virus. So updates for the antivirus, and so that there is no need for a new version of the antivirus. So in order to do that, what the antivirus software, the antivirus people itself, they are trying to write viruses, and those people are called by the name the virus writers. And similarly, the last one, we call it as the cyber terrorists, the people who are involved in the most dangerous people who are involved in the terrorist. Like now, I think we all know that now we have a very, very important saying that there is no we will never have to have a physical war nowadays, or in the current scenario, we will never have to have a physical war. Instead, we will definitely have to have a cyber war. That is, the virtual war is going to happen. So that those people are called by the name the cyber terrorist. Then the motive behind. So behind any crime, definitely there will be having some motives, and these are the motives that normally involved inside a cyber crime. The first and the foremost is the financial fraud. You all know that a large, because actually I told you, whenever you have a cyber crime that is happening, a huge amount of money may be involved in that. That is actually in most of the companies, even though they don't know, they are being trapped or they are being hacked by the criminals, the cyber criminals. A huge loss of money may have happened on that particular company. So the financial fraud is the most important activity that normally happens in the case of a cyber crime. Then sexual exploitation normally happens in the case of children, in the case of women. The sexual exploitation is normally happened. Then extortion has happened, piracy has happened, data privacy is happening. So these are some of the motives normally happened because of, or are the motives behind any of the crimes that has happened. Okay, then two possibilities. Whenever you have a crime, we should know that, yeah, why that happened, why this particular crime happened. It is because of the very, very important technical term called by the name vulnerability. Okay, whenever you develop anything, there will be some loopholes. We call it as some loopholes will be there in order to exploit by, or in order to be exploited by the criminal. We know that when it comes to either event, either crime, there are some vulnerability, or there are some loopholes in that. Loophole the people called the criminals are trying to enter into, or trying to commit the crime. So that is a very, very important activity. Definitely there will be having some vulnerability, and that vulnerability will be exploited by the criminal. Exploit we call it as a normal person, we will never try to exploit. Even though there is a vulnerability, we will just say that this is a vulnerability that is happening there, you have to patch it up. in the technical term, we call it as we have to patch it up, and the patch is illegal. There may be some the people, the criminals who will try to exploit that. So that is the normal scenario that normally happens in the case of any crime, any crime. In the normal crime also, there will be these two things, that vulnerability will be there, exploit is there. Cybercrime also, there will be definitely having these factors, that is vulnerability as well as the exploit. Then cyber security, coming to the cyber security part, that is we have to protect. Whatever be the system that we are developing, definitely there will be having some protection environment. Either system develop, we should know that there should be some protection environment. When we build a house, house, we will just make place very strong locks. Whenever you have this cyber security activities that is happening, we have to have some security measures, we have to have some protection measures. ഏറ്റവും നല്ല protection measures തന്നെയായിരിക്കണം നമ്മൾ cyber security apply ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. Okay, now very importantly, this is a very important statement. I got it from Dr. Anand Professor. He's actually I'm always following that particular person because he was a regular speaker in our ISCS session. He is from Mysore. He's a professor in Sahyadri College, and his statement I have taken. I am very much impressed with this particular statement. That is, nothing bad is going to happen to me. നമ്മളെപ്പോഴും വിചാരിക്കേണ്ട ഒരു സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റ്. നമ്മളെപ്പോഴും in the case of this pandemic also നമ്മൾ പറയും, okay, this pandemic is not going to affect us, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ഒന്നും നമുക്ക് വരില്ല. No, you should never think like that. Anything can happen. ഞാൻ എപ്പോഴും സർ ആ പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റ് എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കര ഇംപ്രസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റ് ആണ്. Anything can happen to us. ഒരിക്കലും we cannot say that nothing bad is going to happen to me. We always say that anything can happen. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ in the case of cyber criminal also, in the case of cyber crime also, ഏതൊരു ക്രൈമും can happen to us. The trends in cybercrime, we'll go for the normal trends. As usual, the very simple cybercrime, നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും ചെയ്യുന്ന അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും അറിഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടോ അറിയാതെയോ ഒക്കെ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു cybercrime is called by the name data breach. Actually, when we use a system, normally in the case of some office environment, when we use a system, we never properly, sometimes we never properly shut down the system. We never properly shut down the system, so that what happens is anyone, the insiders, I told about the people called the insiders, who can be there, who can just take our own possession and try to do some criminal activity, so that what happens at the end of the day, we will be the culprit. Okay, so that is what is called by the name, a simple statement called data breach. Anything can happen. So whenever you are in the office, whenever you are doing some computer related activities, after doing that, you have to properly shut down the system. Make sure that the systems are very well locked, very well shut down. Okay, so otherwise there will be definitely something called a data breach may happen. Then another thing that we are normally, even though it's a crime, but we never feel that it is a crime. That is called a digital plagiarism. We know that when we have to the younger guys, normally whenever you have to have a 1 minute. Sorry. Yeah, whenever you have to have a yes, whenever you have to have a have some assignment, or whenever you have to have some project work to be done, normally what we do is actually we will take the data from the so-called person called Google. We will copy the data from Google. We will just paste it in a Word or some document. We will just submit. But the problem that you are facing in that particular scenario is it is not our data, it is not our content. We have taken from somewhere else. Okay, it's we call it as intellectual property right, IPR. It is actually being taken from some other person, but we never say that other evidence eduthu, and we never say that. We will take the copy, we will just submit as if it is being submitted by us. Okay, so that is a digital plagiarism. That is a crime called a digital plagiarism. നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിൽ അതൊരു വലിയ ക്രൈം ആയിട്ടൊന്നും വന്നിട്ടില്ല. But anyway, it is in most of the other countries, it is a crime. It is a very, very important crime, especially in the case of some thesis works and all. We can take the data. No issues that we cannot take the data. We can take the data. But the problem is we should definitely mention that, yes, what is that? You have taken from such and such person, or you have taken from such and such a document. That is a very, very important concept that you have to keep in your mind. Then the other one is another cases, whenever you have a free Wi-Fi, we try to download some data. Okay, and that data means the data may be in the form of a, what is that, movie, in the form of some other games or something like that. But actually, normally happens is when we go for this what is that, railway station or airport and all, we have a free Wi-Fi there. The actual purpose, എന്താണ് അതിന്റെ actual purpose എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ, അവിടെ നമ്മുടെ ട്രെയിനിന്റെ ടൈമിങ്സോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പിന്നെ എയർക്രാഫ്റ്റ് വരുന്നതോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ടേക്ക് ഓഫിന്റെ ഒക്കെ ടൈമിംഗ് ഒക്കെ അറിയാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് നമ്മളെ സംബന്ധിച്ചോളം that particular Wi-Fi is being given to us. But we never use for that purpose. Instead, what we do is we will go for downloading new movies or downloading other data. Okay, about that is what is these are not crimes as of now, but we are actually doing the internet in a wrong manner. Okay, so that is what is now. Okay, yes, now coming back to this particular slide. Actually, I am not talking about this particular slide. I am not talking about the crime, but this is very important. We know that we have a different generation of people. I am from 1970s, and some others are from 1980s, then 1990s. The people, the children who have born around, who have born around or after that 1990s, or we can call it as 1995, we call them as millennials. Then after that, around 2010, we call them as Gen X, as well as from 2020 onward, the children who are born after 2020, we call it as Gen Alpha. Okay, now why I am talking about this particular people are, these people are very, very brilliant. Okay, they are always interested in technological aspect. We know that if you have നമ്മുടെ grandparents or നമ്മുടെ parents, if they have a mobile phone, what are the maximum activity they can do is they will take some WhatsApp activities, that is like they will go for some messages, they will go for some calls, they can know how to go for the basic activities. But if you give the same thing to a person in this category, that is whether it is a person called millennials, or whether it is a person called Gen X, or whether it is a person called Gen Alpha, what Gen Alpha, actually I know that it's very difficult because they are only just born, right? It's only around 2 years or 3 years maximum. But anyway, to the people called millennials or Gen X, they will do whatever they can do. They will do within a span of say some 30 minutes or 1 hour. They will explore the entire activity of or entire activity inside that particular mobile. നമുക്ക് ആ ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഒരു 30 മിനിറ്റിനകത്ത് തന്നെ അവര് അതിനകത്ത് എന്തെല്ലാം ചെയ്യാമെന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്ക് ഊഹിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ഇന്ന് തന്നെ we know that നമ്മുടെ ഗ്രാൻഡ് പാരന്റ്സ് എപ്പോഴും they are depending on these their grandchildren to have a effective way of effective working of that particular mobile they have. The situation that is going to happen in the current scenario. Now, why I have talked about this particular people are, they are always interested in technological aspects. Since they are always interested in technological activities, they are also always interested in social media activities like Instagram or in WhatsApp, as well as in Facebook. They are always interested in those type of social media because they are always getting involved in or getting interested in interested in these social technological aspect. So now when they are actually coming into the exhibiting interest on these activities, there are a lot of issues are also they being faced by them. അല്ലെ നമ്മൾ അങ്ങനെ അത്രത്തോളം അവര് എന്താ പറയാ ഇപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് ഒരിക്കലും അങ്ങനെ പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല യു കനോട്ട് യൂസ് ദിസ് ടെക്നോളജി, യു കനോട്ട് യൂസ് ദ ഇന്റർനെറ്റ്, യു കനോട്ട് യൂസ് മൊബൈൽ ഫോൺസ്. നമുക്ക് ഇപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല ബിക്കോസ് ആക്ച്വലി വി ആർ ഓൾ ഇൻ വി ആർ ബൗണ്ട് ടു ദാറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, ബട്ട് അങ്ങനെ when they are trying to do some activity on the internet, the problem is avarku ഒരുപാട് issues, they may have to face a lot of issues also in this particular. That is why I'm talking about this particular people called these different categories of people. Now, the most important thing that they are facing in this particular scenario, or in the case of these activity, social media things, are actually cyberbullying. Okay, I told about that is when they are interested in this particular social media activities, whatever they get from the social media activity, they will believe that. Even if you get a good message from that, they will believe. Even if you get a bad message from that, they will believe. When they are believing in those type of messages, those type of activities from the internet, they are actually, sometimes they may be born to, or they may be bound to the concept called cyberbullying. Now, what is cyberbullying? Very simple statement. When I want to say something to some bad things to a people, to some other people, the best way, I will never say pand nammal endha cheyirunna, we will they say directly. If we want to say something to a person, we will say that particular thing directly, but now it is not. What happens? The best way to give a bad comment on a particular person or a particular institution or a particular device or whatever it is to post it in the internet. Okay, so angana post cheyyunnathu, normally if it is actually defaming something, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ പേഴ്സണെ എന്തെങ്കിലും രീതിയിൽ ഒരു ഡിഫോമിറ്റി ആയിട്ട് ആക്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി the poor children or the people in that age group may feel bad about themselves, and that is what is called by the name cyberbullying. So cyberbullying is a very important. നമുക്കറിയാം നമ്മുടെ ഈ അടുത്ത കാലത്തൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ഒരുപാട് issues we have faced, like in the case of so many actors, so many celebrities, whatever the people wants to say about that, they will just directly post it in the internet. So that particular concept is called by the name cyberbullying, and these particular things are normally being affected by the so-called children. That is the problem that we are facing. Then similarly, we have another one called cyber stalking, which is normally affected by the older generation, somewhat actually women-like activities, because normally exactly like cyberbullying only, but the cyberbullying is normally applicable to the children, whereas cyber stalking is applicable to the somewhat elder ones. Okay, so that is what is called. Now, these are some of the issues, the reason behind the cyber stalking or cyberbullying. That is motivation of anger, revenge of frustration, then hungry to pain others. Some are interested to pain others, very importantly. Then for entertainment, sometimes it is for entertainment only, but the problem is they will never feel like that the affected person, they will never have a concern on the affected person. That is the most important problem, that we all are having this important problem, that the cyberbullying or the cyber stalking is having. Now, yes, now comes the next one called the cyber terrorism. I told you that is, nowadays nobody is going to have a physical war in between, but we will have a war called cyber war, and in the cyber war, the people called terrorists are involved inside the cyber warfare. Okay, now then comes another attack called a Salami attack. Now, what is the Salami attack? Is very simple. Actually, if you have a bank account, those who are having a bank account, we know that we will never be interested in the when you have a bank account, suppose say some 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, we will only go for the what is that? A figure called in a simple statement, I'll say that I have some 10,124 rupees in my account. But when you have that, when you just go and take the passbook and check the balance inside that, we know that it is 10,124. But the problem is, when we say in the real factor, we will say that I have some 10,000 in my, in my hand. We are not at all interested in the paise. So sometimes it is 10,124 points, say 10 paise or 20 paise inside. We are not at all interested in the paise part. We are only interested in the whole number part, that is a 10,000 or 10,100. We are not at all interested in the 10th position or the 100th position. We are interested in the 1,000th position or 10,000 positions only. So, but if the particular bank employee, the people, normally this is normally happen. In the case where this what is the cooperative banks are there, we have a lot of crimes that has happened recently in the case of this cooperative bank sectors. And one of the important thing that has happened is this particular attack. What is that? If someone is taking the paise part from that particular account number, nobody is going to be aware of that particular one. That is that, oh, that particular person have taken the paise part from my, because actually we are not at all that much curious in understanding that such a paise deduction has been happened on that. paise part eduthu ennallathu namukku ariyan pattilla. So that particular attack is called by the name of Salami Attack. Okay, that can happen in the case where so many in the case of most of the banks and all. Not in the case of a nationalized bank, but I told you normally in the case of some cooperative banks and all. Okay. Then comes the defamation. I already told about. If you want to say something about someone, if you want to say some bad words about someone, it is the best way. In nowadays, the best crime that has happened is cyber defamation. Because actually, when you say something about someone, at least if I want to say something about you, I am saying that in the public and social media network, at least one or two definitely will believe in that. That is the problem that we are facing, and that believing is actually going to multiply. That is what is being called by the name of cyber defamation. Now comes the important things that has happened in the case of your mobile phones. We know that all of your, I told you, the millennials, the Gen X, all are interested in, all are always interested in the social media activities, and we have a huge increase in the social media activities nowadays also. So that is what has been given here. We have all the data available in the internet through all these social media platforms. We all know that in the when we give data, when we are using the social media platforms, we are giving all the data to the platform. Even though it is not necessary, we are giving all the data to those what is that social media. നമ്മുടെ phone number കൊടുക്കും, നമ്മുടെ marriage date കൊടുക്കും, നമ്മുടെ spouse date, all data we will give directly to the social media. So social media is actually having a huge bundle of data available, or data related to a person is available there in the social media. So that is a very important thing. Nowadays actually the most important, the most precious thing available in the internet is nowadays is actually the data. Data is very, very important. It is actually, the data is more precious than Kohinoor. Okay, athrikim important are the data. So that data we are just giving to all through social media. That is what is going to happen, or that is happening nowadays. Okay, now in the another important thing that has happened in the case of the mobile phone is the malware. Okay, what is a malware? Malware is nothing but anything, a software which will always work at the background. നമ്മുടെ ഫോർഗ്രൗണ്ടിൽ നമുക്കറിയാം, when you take a mobile phone, we have a lot of apps with us, but there are a lot of apps that can run at the background. They are normally called by the name of malware. Now, how this malware is being transmitted or how this malware is being affected is actually very simple. When we actually go for a normal, we will get a number of good morning messages. This number of good morning messages may have in the backside of that particular message, there can be some softwares that will be embedded inside. അതായത് ആ സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയറിന്റെ നമ്മൾ കാണുന്ന ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ് മെസ്സേജസിന്റെ പുറകിൽ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇങ്ങനെ തിരിച്ചല്ല നോക്കേണ്ടത്. യു ഹാവ് ടു ഹാവ് ദാറ്റ്, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എംബെഡഡ് ഇൻസൈഡ്. Because the malware will never be seen at the foreground, it will be seen only at the background. Appo they will be always hide inside a cleanware, or we call it as a hide inside a normal software. Now, endana sambhavikkunna, what happens now is when we actually download this particular normal software, the malware which is also affected along with the normal software will get infected in our system. Then one of the most important malware is called Keylogger. What is a keylogger is? Keylogger is a malware who will record whatever you type on the keyboard. നമ്മൾ എന്ത് കീബോർഡിൽ ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്താലും it will record. So that what happens, nowadays we are all using almost all the transactions through our mobile phone. That is, our net banking will be done by the mobile phones, Google Pay, Phone Pay, everything will be done by the mobile phones. Wherever we do all these transactions, we have to have the password to be given. That password will be collected by the keylogger, and that keylogger will be sending to the people, the person who is actually created the keylogger. So that is what is called by the name malware. Very important. But I told about only a keylogger malware, but there are a lot of malwares which is available. Very importantly, the one of the precaution that we all have to take, നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും എടുക്കേണ്ടുന്ന ഏറ്റവും important ആയിട്ടുള്ള precaution എന്താണെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ, you make sure that the data is needed. The message is a genuine one. The message, because actually some of the trending messages are we will just forward to all, and that forwarding all messages may contain this particular malwares, can contain these particular malwares. Appo adukondu thanne when there is no need to download a good morning messages. If you want to say good morning to someone, yes, good, type good morning and send. Nobody is interested in typing good morning and sending, but they are all interested in getting the sending some pictures in the form of children, in the form of some flowers, or in the form of some good themes or something like that. No, it's not at all needed actually. In the case when you want to say good morning, you have to just type it. And so that is what is called by the name malware. And very importantly, you can just keep this particular statement in your mind. Malware hacking is a service, spyware as software, because hacking is a service. So through hacking, they are all collecting the data. Okay, then comes the next one called ransomware. All of you are maybe aware of the concept called ransomware. WannaCry, it recently affected. Ransomware is nothing but a WannaCry. We all know about the concept. All the data will be encrypted, and we need to have to pay some cryptocurrency in order to unlock that. The decryption facility has to be affected only with some cryptocurrency being sent to them, and there is no guarantee. After you send the money also, there is no guarantee that they will unlock or they will decrypt the data. So that is very important in the case of a very important case called a ransomware. Okay, then malware for the Android. Now we are one of the very important scenario that we normally happens do in the case of app installation is we will give some permissions, right? We without knowing what actually the statement behind the permission, we will simply go for SSSSS. So there are a lot of issues normally happens in this particular scenario. Why? Because namla angane SSS permissions kodukkunna SSS ennulla permission kodukkunna salathu endokkeyana edokke permission aanennulla we will never do. Sometimes they will take the data from our gallery. Sometimes we are giving the permission to take the data from our gallery. We are giving the permission to take the location of us. We are giving the permission to take data from the folders inside. So it is very important. So at least whenever you are just giving permissions, you just read the statement. What exactly the need of a permission? Where exactly the need of a permission? Where, is it necessary to give that permission? And at least just read the message of that particular permission and go for a yes. Okay, so that is a very important scenario that you all have to focus. That similarly these malwares, whenever you just try to download the data apps from different sites or different stores. What I mean by different stores is someone will be downloading from the Play Store, someone will be downloading from the App Store. So whenever you are trying to download the apps, make sure that they are all genuine apps, because actually when it comes to the apps, we have a lot of apps related to, suppose if you are going for a SBI app, you have a lot of apps related to SBI will be there inside, but you can make sure that whether it is a genuine app or not, because this genuine app will never contain, when you download a genuine app, there will not be affected with malwares and all. Whereas in the case of a fraudulent apps or something like that, definitely there can happen. There can be a chance of those keyloggers or some other types of malwares that also can come along with those those apps. So very importantly, whenever you just download an app, you have to make sure that how much review you have, what are the rating you have. Just have to have a very important, what is that, idea about the app, or very important information about the app, and try to download. Make sure by making sure that whether it is a what is a genuine app or not. Okay. Then comes the most important one called the social engineering. Nowadays, most of the what is that the crimes are happening with this particular concept called social engineering. Social engineering is a technique which is used to get information from someone. That is what I told you in the previous case. We are giving all the data to the social media, and the social engineering facility is available with the criminals, so that they can easily get the data from the social media. Okay, because we are populating with our phone numbers, our email IDs, everything we are populating to the social media, and so the people are very much, the criminals are very much interested to collect the data. That is called by the name of social engineering aspect. Anywhere when we are giving the data, if it is in the public platform, a social engineering technique, any of the social engineering technique can be applied. So a lot of social engineering techniques are there. We'll come across those one individually, where we can just collect the data. Now, these are some of the social engineering techniques that is happening, like phishing, wishing, spam mails, pop-up windows. Pop-up windows, whenever you get a pop-up window to enter the phone number, we will definitely give the phone number, or we'll give the email IDs. Okay, that is the technique. So that the email ID and the phone number is being collected by the people who have developed that pop-up window. That is social engineering. That concept is called a social engineering. Okay, we'll come across one. The social engineering technique is very importantly, this is information gathering, developing a relation, exploitation, execution. Now, in first they will get the information from us, then they will just develop a relationship between with the victim, then exploit the scenarios, and then execution. But the problem that we are all facing is, നമ്മള് ഈ എക്സിക്യൂഷൻ സമയത്ത് മാത്രമേ അറിയുള്ളൂ എന്താണ് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു സോഷ്യൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് അറ്റാക്ക് നടന്നു എന്നുള്ളത്. That is the problem. That is only after the execution phase we will come to know that yes, the social engineering attack has happened. Now, DOS attack, the next one called DOS attack. DOS means denial of service. Okay, very simply, you have a 5 MB email. Suppose your email size is only 5 MB. Example I am giving. Then I am just giving some spam mails continuously. I am sending some spam mails so that your 5 MB space is full. At that time, what happens is, you are have to get a very important message from the so-called, what is that, your higher ups, or you may be from a different organization where you have applied for a new job or something like that. Since the spam mails are filled with this, or the entire 5 MB data space is filled with the spam mails, what happens is the important mail that is have to come to your inbox is not at all delivered, because your inbox is full now. So automatically it got the rebound. Okay, so that particular concept is called by the name of DOS attack. That is denial of service. That is, you are actually denied with a service. That particular concept is called by the name. And there is another concept called a distributed denial of service. If you have multiple persons are simultaneously attacking on your, that is, you are being called a number of times. That is with missed calls. You are being flooded with missed calls in your mobile phones. At that time, what happens? You try to switch over. If you get fed up with the missed calls and you try to switch off the mobile phone. At that time, an important call from your boss or from your family, or is coming, and you are not able to attend the call. That is called by the name, very importantly, denial of service. Okay. Then these are some of the techniques, where the social engineering techniques, where you can get the data. You can collect the data with the help of a spam mail, fake mails, lottery mails. Nowadays, actually, we all know that all of you may are no, nowadays, actually, I think it is somewhat less. We all got a lot of messages in the form of, you have won a huge amount of lotteries. You have won a huge, my grandfather or my grandparents have to transfer a huge amount of data, money to your account, because they don't have, like that. So many other mails are also, or messages are coming in nowadays, no. So those type of things are some of the easy techniques. They are also being called by the name, what is that, social engineering techniques, where your data is being collected through somehow. Okay, so that particular way. Then phishing attack. Another one is called phishing attack. Phishing attack is normally applicable in the case of websites. That is, look-alike websites will be there. Look-alike websites normally happened in the case of your, what is that, net banking or internet banking and all. That is, a look-alike website means that, okay, now in this particular website is a real website, whereas this website is a phishing website. Okay, now when you just in the first look, when you just see the website, you feel that both are the same, but the first website is the real one, whereas the second one is a phishing website. Now, what is the need of a phishing website? Is the phishing website is used to collect your data. Collect your data in the sense that is your user ID, your password, everything has to be collected through, can be collected through a phishing website. Normally, phishing websites will be like this. That is, it will have a spelling or actually I'll give some example, then you will understand on that particular one. Sorry, 1 minute. Yeah, now these are some of the examples of the phishing websites. What is that? Gmail.com. When you first read that particular statement, we say that, okay, it is www.gmail.com, but unfortunately what it is GMAI1. Okay, L is looking like 1. It is a phishing website. So like that, with a small difference in the spelling or bad grammar, or there may be some links. Now, we have an important tendency of clicking on any links that you get in the form of a social media or in the form of some other thing. Any link that you are getting, you will be just clicking on the link. So this phishing mails normally comes in the form of links also. So very importantly, now these are all, I told you, these are all techniques which is used to collect the data from us through some ways of approach. Okay. Then another important concept is called by the name juice jacking. What is juice jacking? Now we all have. Now, whenever we go to airport, whenever you go to what is that a railway station, we normally try to charge our mobile phones from in the plug points which is available there. Plug point, we will try to charge our mobile phones. Okay, there is no harm in charging the mobile phones from the particular point, until and unless the problem is nowadays, in the case of most of the Android phones, we have dual cable in the sense the charger and the cable, data cable, are the same. Okay, അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഒരു കേബിള് ഒരു മൊബൈൽ ഫോൺ ചാർജ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ we are actually connecting to a USB port. We normally connect to a USB port. We don't know what is the other side of that USB port. നമുക്കറിയില്ല അവിടെ അത് ഒരു ഡേറ്റ കേബിൾ ആയിട്ടാണോ ഉപയോഗിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്, അതോ അതൊരു ഡേറ്റ കളക്ഷൻ കേബിൾ ആയിട്ടാണോ, ഡേറ്റ കളക്ടിങ് ഫെസിലിറ്റി ആയിട്ടാണോ ഉപയോഗിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്, അതൊരു ചാർജ് ആയിട്ടാണോ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത്, we don't know. So that is what is called juice jacking. So whenever you have this charging need to be done on that, try to get the charger from the AC power directly. That is, you have to collect that, you have to directly, don't try to plug into the USB cable. Instead, you directly plug into the AC power cord. നമ്മുടെ ആ പവർ കോഡിൽ തന്നെ കളക്ട് ചെയ്യുക, so that അവിടെ there will not be any chance of taking the data from you. Then email spoofing, another concept is called email spoofing. Email spoofing is actually exactly like social engineering technique. You can just take you can just create an email from in the name of even the Prime Minister of India. Anyone, there is a site, I'll just give a site. In my office, I cannot take that particular site because it is restricted, but I will give you a site name called mkei.cz. mkei.cz. There is a website where you can just create an email ID in anyone's name. That is, if I am creating a email IDs in the name of our honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, then and I am sending the mail to you, means automatically you will be getting the name as Narendra Modi as the sender name. So automatically you will be that, oh my God, the Prime Minister have sent me a mail. So like that particular mail is called by the name of spoofing. Sorry, that mail is called by the name of spoofing mail. That is, anyone, you can just pretend to, you can just create a mail as if you are pretending to be the Prime Minister of India, or pretending to be the President of India, or pretending to be that particular person's friend. Okay, so like that is what is called by the name email spoof. Then email spamming, that is also we have seen, that is junk mails. We know that whenever you take your Gmail or Yahoo or whatever, it will be flooded with some mails which is not at all used by anyone. We will just simply delete that mail. We'll have something like links that will be there inside. You have a statement like, you have a beautiful picture inside, so we are tempted to take that picture. That picture, there is no harm in taking the picture. The problem is that picture may contain some malwares, may have some malwares, may have some viruses, may have some spywares. We may not be knowing that. We will just double click, automatically that will be infected into our system. Okay, so that particular concept is called email spamming. A huge bundle of spam mails are being sent to you in your inbox. Your inbox get flooded with those data, and your inbox will be not able to receive a genuine mail from someone. Then comes the concept called smudge attack. I think some of you may be knowing about the smudge attack. That is, smudge attack is actually very simple. If you have a mobile phone with you, if you just go check the mobile like this, or if I have a mobile with you, if I check the mobile like this, we normally give that, what is that? Instead of the passcode, instead of giving the passcode, we normally give us the pattern inside. Okay, if you can just see the mobile phone like this, you can see sometimes you can see the passcode, the pattern that the particular we have used, because we keep on doing the passcodes a number of times. Automatically our hands impressions will be there, the figure impression will be there inside. So that particular way of approach, you can just take the what is that, you can use someone else's mobile if you can just know the passcode like that. So that particular concept is called a smudge attack. Then, very importantly, the next one is called as nomophobia. Very, very important. Now, what is this nomophobia? Nowadays, most of the people, the younger children, are always being affected by this particular concept called a nomophobia. No mobile phobia. Now, what is this no mobile phobia is actually when the people are actually addicted to, the usage of mobile phones or social media, they cannot actually spare a single minute without this. That is, they always are eagerly waiting to get a new message, to get a new post, to get a new chat, to get a chat message. Where we actually now, they always are. They should have always this particular device with their in their hand. They cannot just take spare a single minute without the device. So that concept is actually called by the name nomophobia. അതായത് നമുക്ക് ആ ഒരു ഡിവൈസ് ഇല്ലാതെ ഒരു നിമിഷം പോലും ജീവിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല എന്നുള്ള ആ ഒരു അവസ്ഥ. That is called by the name of nomophobia. No mobile phobia. It is a very dangerous scenario nowadays. Most of the children, most of the younger students, that is why actually most of them are addicted to games, online games. Most of them are addicted to the social media activities. Because this millennials, the Gen X, they are all keenly interested in the social media, keenly interested in the technologies, keenly interested in the gaming factors. The concept of nomophobia is actually very important, very increasingly affected by them. Okay, or is affected in them. So that is what is called, and we have a lot of issues that is coming with this particular aspect. Now, why this is happening is because of a concept called a dopamine. All of you, please keep that particular statement in your mind. Dopamine. Now, what is this dopamine is actually? Dopamine is actually a chemical in our brain. Now, this particular chemical is actually the one that is involved in our in our sensations or movements, and actually it should have a neutral facility. This dopamine should have a neutral facility. Now, when we are addicted to someone, our dopamine what is that the quantity will get either increased or decreased when you are addicted to something. Now, when this dopamine facility, that is what I called by the previous one called a nomophobia. When the nomophobia effect is being imparted on a particular person, automatically the dopamine will get increased or decreased, and due to the increase or the decreasing facility of the dopamine, automatically we are going to the addiction facility. Now, when it is being addicted, automatically we have a lot of facility, lot of difficulties that is coming across, like anxiety will be there, then disturbed sleep will be there, they will be poor in the studies, the children will be always poor in studies, then withdrawal symptoms, so many issues will normally come across in this particular case called a dopamine. So they are all very much means addicted to these activities, like maybe some pornographic concepts, then child pornographies, then some accident drawing. Even on all these facilities, all these things, if they are addicted, automatically the concept of nomophobia will happen. Okay, so that is very important. Then the area of concern of social media, I already say that we have a very important. I always say to all the people, that is, we don't know whether who is on the other side of the social media, who is a man or an animal. That is, when we talk to an unidentified person, imaginary, we say that an imaginary person. We say that, okay, when we are getting a request from someone, we always accept the request, and we are actually chatting with that particular. Namukku ariyilla who is on the other side. We say that, okay, his profile feature says that he is so and so, doesn't mean that he is the real person. Okay, so that particular concept, as we always say that, okay, we don't know the people on the other side is a man or an animal, whenever. So in നമുക്കറിയാം, മലയാളത്തിൽ നമുക്ക് ഒത്തിരി നല്ല ഫിലിംസ് ഉണ്ട് ഇതുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട. ആ ഫിലിംസ് നമ്മുടെ we always have to see those films, as well as we have to tell our children to see those films, so that they will be having an idea on the നമുക്കറിയാം ഏറ്റവും നല്ല ഫിലിം വടക്കൻ സെൽഫി നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാവുന്നതാണ്. പിന്നെ ഇപ്പൊ ഈ അടുത്ത കാലത്ത് ഇറങ്ങിയ ഒരു ഫിലിം ഉണ്ട്, അതായത് ഓപ്പറേഷൻ ജാവ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു സിനിമ. നല്ലൊരു സിനിമയാണ്, ഒരുപാട് സൈബർ ക്രൈംസിനെ പറ്റി പറയുന്ന ഒരു ഫിലിമാണ് ഓപ്പറേഷൻ ജാവ. മലയാളത്തിലെ വലിയ ഒരു OTT പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിലാണ് അത് ഇറങ്ങിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ദർ, സോ യു ക്യാൻ. Then the day before yesterday, or 1 week before, നമ്മുടെ തൃശ്ശൂർ സൈബർ സെൽ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ച ഒരു കേസാണ്, where the two a couple was arrested, a boy and a girl, sorry, a man and a woman, that is a husband and wife, and they have taken a lot of amount from a lot of people from Kerala by giving false messages in the name of some doctors, in the name of some doctors, that is a lady doctor as well. That is they will be just contacting a male person as if she is a lady doctor, and they will be contacting a female as if he is a gen doctor. So like that, a lot of amount has been collected from that, and they were arrested from Manipur. They were the natives of Manipur, and they were arrested from them. Then comes the concept of chat rooms. Always nowadays, most of the people are interested in chat rooms, and the problem is, okay, chatting is also there is no issue in going for a chatting and all, but some of them are actually interested in private chatting. Some of them are interested in nude chatting, where they will exchange their own pictures, their own private pictures. They will just exchange, and it is very difficult, because actually the problem is when they are exchanging the pictures that can be used by the opposite person in a wrong because actually, okay, when two lovers are there, when they are actually in a good relationship, they will just sometimes exchange the pictures. But when the relation got bad, okay, when they are broken up, automatically they will use these pictures for a revenge. So that type of things, very importantly, have to be careful in that. These are that is what and nowadays actually their honey trap facilities are also there. Honey trap issues are also there. That is the people will be trapped with the help of this nude pictures or nude photos and all, and they will be just asking for money. So that a lot of issues incident have happened in Kerala where this honey trap cases are being reported. Okay, that is. Then these are some of the chats which is available, and we have to make sure that which one is the safest one, which one is the unsafe one. We have to have. We know that we are using WhatsApp, we are using Tango, we may be using IMO. All these WeChat we are using. All these are unsafe chats, whereas the safest one is these are the Silent Circle, Telegram, then Signal Chat. And nowadays, I think most of are interested in going for the Signal Chat and Telegram at all. Okay. Millennials we have seen. Then another concept that you are normally happening in the cases a deep fake. Deep fake is actually equivalent to your the honey trap facility. That is, anyone's picture can be morphed into another equivalently similar person, and trying to go for a honey trap facilities in the form of a picture as well as in the form of some videos that is happening. This is, you can just see the honey trap the deep fake statement where we give a input like this, and automatically it will be get collected in the output as a different person. So that particular concept is actually there in the case of a deep fake. All of you have to keep the deep fake activities in your mind, because it's very dangerous, because actually something we will believe that it's the original, but it is not the original. It is because of this particular concept called a deep fake. A lot of media reports are also there in the case of the in this concept called a deep fake. Pornography have a very impact on this particular concept called a deep fake. So that can be taken by that exploitations can be done on our case also. That is why I'm talking about this particular one called a deep fake. Now, in that case, all the people have to be very careful regarding the defect. Never go for the selfie or single pictures on the internet and the social media, rather than going for group messages or messages taken on from a lengthy distance. That is, selfie means we know that it's very close to us, but when you take pictures from a camera or some other with the help of a different person, means that will be always somewhat apart from the camera. Okay, so always go for importance. Selfie we go for the normal photos, normal camera, like camera pictures are to be posted, and to always go for group photos rather than going for individual photos. Individual photos always go for group photos. Then I am talking about some of the new crimes that has happened nowadays. Actually, a lot of what is that IPS officers are asking for money. You will get a message that I am the IPS officer. I am say Yadish Chandra, the IPS officer. I just want some money from you because I have some urgency, like that. Some messages are normally coming. And I recently a guy from Rajasthan was arrested based on the complaint by one of the IPS officer in Kerala. That is, the particular person have created a profile of a IPS officer and asked for money from his friends list. His friends list, that is the IPS officer's friends list. He asked for money, and the problem was the friends thought that okay, this is the real IPS officer and he is asking for money, and that's so that he has given the money, and after that they came to know that it's a fake profile, and the particular person was arrested from Rajasthan. It's recently happened. Then similarly, some of the crimes that happens is actually with the help of our data, which is collected from us, is actually with the help of some the what is that? Our we normally, after going for a flight journey or something like that, we dump that what is that? The tickets in the dustbin or something like that. That dustbin from there, that if you can collect the ticket from the dustbin or something like that, it is having a huge amount of data about us. That particular data thing we are not familiar with, we are not aware of that. Similarly, when you after going for a ATM transaction, we will just take the receipt and we'll just put it in the dustbin. Okay, that dustbin, if someone can take that, but there is a concept called dumpster diving. There is a technique called a dumpster diving, where you can just collect the dustbin and take a lot of data from us. Similarly, when you just go and take the what is that if you can get the boarding pass of a particular person, if you can go for a boarding pass reader app from your mobile app store, or what is that Play Store, you can get a lot of data of a particular person from that. Okay, so we always our boarding pass or ATM receipt has to be kept properly or destroyed after being used. Okay, it should be very careful. Then another important thing that normally happens nowadays, actually, we are the ladies, they are actually fall into this particular trap. Actually, we know that there are a lot of what is that cosmetic, highly what is that priced cosmetics are available, and since nowadays all are putting their masks, these cosmetics are not at all used nowadays, so they will just give it in less price, that is some 20,000 2,000 priced cosmetic they will give for 200 rupees. Then okay, all may be invested in trying to buy that. Even after the concept of mask is over, they can use that, thinking that okay, they can use that. So like that, they try to take the data from, sorry, they try to sale with normally it is called by the name of flash sale, normally happens in the case. And so the people are the ladies are interested, and they will just go and try to get that, and it will be a looting facility. Normally they no, they will never get, they will be transferring the money. After that, nothing will be happening. No, the contacts will be lost, the phone will be switched off, the email will be blocked, everything happens, and the money will be lost. So those particular things are nowadays normally happen. And so this is the another one, that is flash sale. iPhone with say 60,000 is to be given for say some 30,000. So normally people are interested in that, they will try to exploit that facility, but nothing is going to happen. The 30,000 will be gone, and they will never get, they will get some, what is that, some dustbin or something like that. Okay, that is what is normally happening. These are some of the some of the new ideas that new messages, that all these messages I got it from my mobile phone itself. That is, your KYC has to be updated, then your weight Nowadays, actually, most of the people are interested in losing their weight without going for a gym or without going for a workout. They say that, okay, some pills are available, some Ayurvedic medicines are available. Then you can just go take that Ayurvedic medicine so that your weight will be lost in a couple of days or in a couple of weeks. Okay, so they are interested. All these are different criminal activities, different crimes that have happened. Then similarly, your ATM card will be blocked. That is another important one. And so all these are all the messages which I got it from my own system. Okay. Then new ideas are there. I told you drone surveillance is also there. That is, drone surveillance is actually, I told you, and nowadays actually all of you are carrying their means they have a, what is that, pen camera with them. They can use the camera for any purpose. Okay, so nowadays the drones are also there. Drones can be used for taking the aerial view from anywhere. They can take the pictures. So that pictures, if it is actually taken from some 18th year, top of a 18th stored building or not, sometimes that can happen actually normally. So drone surveillance, you have to be very careful. That is, your picture will be without your knowledge, the pictures can be taken with the help of. Then this is another one. Very importantly, that is actually previously when we were in school students, we got some what is that, postcards like that. Postcard okay, if you just this is from Lord Hanuman. If you are sending this particular message to 100 people, you will get a lot of എന്താ പറയാ, പുതിയ നമുക്ക് ഒരുപാട് നല്ല കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമ്മുടെ ജീവിതത്തിൽ നടക്കും. Then if someone is not sending this one, he will have a lot of damages to himself. അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞ് ഒരുപാട് മെസ്സേജസ് വരാറുണ്ട്. And previously there was that. At the same type of messages have again started. If you just send this to 100 people, you will get a miracle in your life. Otherwise, you will have to face some difficulties like that. A lot of messages are coming nowadays. Then another one is actually the Wi-Fi cards. You all know that nowadays most of the people are having this Wi-Fi cards, but no issues, because actually you have to be careful only, because we know that the Wi-Fi card, the maximum limitation is only 22,000. So even if you are not properly using that, the misuse of Wi-Fi card may lead to damage of or loss of say 2,000 only. But anyway, you have to be careful. RFID protection, what is that, wallets are available which will protect the Wi-Fi cards from. Then the social media, now we'll go for some countermeasures. These are all the crimes that we have seen. Now we'll go for some countermeasures. Most importantly, in the case of the social media, that is the privacy. The privacy setting has to be very important in the case of a social media. Privacy settings, just most of the privacy settings will be applicable to everyone. Rather, change that to friends, or you can call it as our own personal friends. That is the better option in the case of Facebook, as well as in the case of WhatsApp also the same thing. The settings are also already given there. WhatsApp settings, accounts privacy, you have to give importance to the privacy settings of that WhatsApp also. Then regarding the password, very importantly, the password is you have to have a stronger password. Always don't give the simple password like ASDF or QWERTY, or just my spouse name, or go for a stronger password. This is one of the best example of a stronger password, which should have capital letters, small letters, combination of what is that, I guess, capital letters, small letters, then special characters. Wherever you can use special character, A can be replaced by @ I can be replaced by exclamation mark. So that what happens is the number of special character will increase, so that your password will be strong. So always go for the stronger password. Then online gaming, very importantly, I told you online gaming, the addiction, the nomophobia, dopamine concept is very important in the case of online gaming. So people nowadays, actually most of the people, the students, those who are having the online class, are almost addicted to this particular. A lot of cases are happening in the are coming to the go to that the psychiatric people who have already told us that is a lot of cases are coming to them, say for in order to rescue the people from these activities like the online addiction, and it's very importantly online addiction. Then these are the things that you have to keep in your mind, that is do's for the children. Keep your device up to date, then have a stronger password. Then don't actually nowadays most of the games are actually multiple player games, and the children will be playing with a different and an opposite player who may not be known to that particular person. So it is very important to say that don't play with those type of strangers who are available in the online gaming. Try to play with your own friends or something like that, or try to play as a single player. Don't go for multiple player options. So those type of things have to be definitely told to be to be told by to your children or whoever who is trying to play with the online games. Okay, then these are the don'ts for children. Never accept downloads from the strangers. Do not send out materials to fellow gamers that contains personal information. I told you, do not try to meet the stranger. Stranger may be the opposite player. Don't try to strange. Do not play games that may harm to you or ask your personal details. Then similarly for the parents also have to be very much vigilant on the child's behavior. That is whether he is taking not sleeping till night or till late night. He is playing with the mobile phones or all, or other some tabs or online gaming. He is involved in that. So like those type of things have to be very much careful by the parents also. The parents have to be very much keen, should always monitor their activity, what they are trying to do it in the late nights and all. Then web surfing facility, always try to go for HTTPS, because HTTPS will never allow phishing sites to operate. The phishing sites will be blocked by HTTPS. So HTTPS is very, very important in the case of in that case. Actually, the most important thing is you have to update your web browser. The web browser has to be updated. Always go for the latest web browser, because the latest web browser will have the HTTPS facility as a security facility enhanced on that. Then online shopping also, very importantly, don't permanently store the credit card details, debit card details, or the net banking details in the online shopping facilities, as well as in the mobile phones, because actually that can sometimes create problems. Normally when anyone who hacks the website can get the data from yours. Then how to secure my password? You can have a very good website with you that is called How Secure Is My Password. You can just type there in the internet, where you can type your password and check whether it is a stronger password or a weaker password. How secure is my password? A website is available. You can just try and check the strength of your password, whatever password you have used. Then similarly, I told you, whatever you try to agree, try to read the statement, whether it is needed or whether it is not needed, and then go for accept, rather than simply accepting without going for anything, without just reading anything. Okay, so accepting is very, very important, because once you accept it, automatically the things will be out of your control. Yeah, that is what I told you. And allow, sometimes at least try to go for deny. Don't go for allow always, try to deny also. Then in the case of Duckduckgo, there is a website called Duckduckgo, where you actually, normally we go for Bing, we go for Google. Instead of that, you can just go for Duckduckgo, which will never track your data, because actually there is a concept called artificial intelligence, where being applicable in the Google as well as in the Bing, where whatever you search, your search history will be retained, but whereas this one will never retain the search history. You can just use that if you want. Then email and emails, if someone has taken control of your email, if you want to know, you can just have a website called Have I Been Pawned. You can just try to check whether your any data breach happened on your email ID or not. That can also be taken, can be analyzed with the help of this particular website. So that If you are if that particular email ID is being already tracked by someone or already being pawned by someone, you can just change that. Then the new situation, new, and I think COVID-19, you have a lot of new crimes have happened. That is actually previously there was a situation that now actually it is not there. That is, you will be getting a vaccination slot. If you can pay this money, I will send you the vaccination slot within a nearby location. Like that, a lot of frauds are happened. But now it is not there, because all around 100 crores of Indians have already vaccinated. So now it is not at all applicable nowadays, but it was there. Then similarly, now this is currently also there. You have a lot of EMI loans, EMIs are new loans are there without giving any document. If you go to SBI or any other bank, a lot of procedures are there. But in this case, no procedures are there. You will be getting a loan with a span of say 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You just give a request like that. A lot of loan moratorium, loan EMI moratorium like activities are also there we got a lot of messages in that. We have got a message in the groups also, a lot of groups were. Then similarly, scan your QR scan code. Whenever you get a QR scanning facility, we will just go and scan that. Make sure that you are scanning the correct one, because some of the scanning facilities are being scanned to take the data from us also. So you have to be careful in that particular area also. Don't simply, wherever you get a scanning facility, you don't go for scanning. You just check whether what exactly is the use of that scanning. Similarly, the next one, that the Google Pay. Once you have done any payment, automatically you will get a Google Pay. What is that? You will get a reward. Make sure that the reward is proper or not. Safety measures, I told you, parental control is very importantly. In the antivirus software that you are using, parental control facility will be there in order to rescue our children from unwanted activities, unwanted surfing and all. You have to make sure that the parental control is being kept. This is the agencies, Interpol. You all may be knowing about who are the agencies who are vigilant, who are safeguarding our people from the cybercrime. The most importantly, Interpol is there. Then CERTIN is there. CERTIN, computer emergency. There's Interpol is international, whereas CERTIN in India, CERTIN is there. That is Computer Emergency Response Team India, who will actually report the cyber thieves and reports all the crimes which is available there. Then similarly, you have two portal which is available in Kerala as well as in the government of India, that is keralapolice.org, where cyber crimes happening in Kerala can be reported, whereas cybercrime.gov.in, where all the national cybercrime reporting portal, where all the cybercrime reportings have been can be reported. Okay, then it comes to the conclusion. I told you we have to be a netizen rather than going for a now we all wants to be a good citizen. Similarly, in our computer we have to be a netizen, good netizen, where we have to have the ethics of internet as well as cyber world. Okay, that, and also if you have come across any illegal activities, try to complain. Don't hesitate to complain. You should complain it. Then good relations with especially to the children, especially to the people, the younger ones called the millennials, the Alpha X. That is, we should have a good relation. The interpersonal relation should be very important. That is, you should have a good relation with your parents, with your teachers, because they are the only people who will be always supporting you. You cannot have a friend with an unknown stranger or an unknown person in the internet to a stranger in the internet. You should have only the good friends, which is there called, who are there called the parents, the teachers, and the good friends of your society. Then these are the very important the things we have to be careful in our ISA, from our ISA part. That is, you have to have a very good look into this particular thing. That is, you should use common passwords. Don't use common passwords. That leaving your devices unlocked, ignoring OS to be updated, everything to be updated. Latest version, security version should be there. So have to be careful. Then these two bibliographies are very, very important. All of you have to follow this bibliography. That is infosecawareness.in. Very, very important site where all you have a lot of data available, lot of posters available, lot of PPTs available, where you can have a what is that? Have a very good idea on the cyber security aspects, on teachers, on government employees, for students, everyone. A huge bunch of data are available in this particular site called infosecawareness.in. All of you have to follow that particular one. Similarly, there is a very, very important site called Cyber Safeguard. The great Anand Prabhu sir's initiative, Cyber Safeguard. We have different versions on that particular one. All of you have to understand that the concept of cyber safeguard. You can download. It's a freely downloadable version. You can download it, use it, understand the concept, educate your fellow beings, your children, so that they will not be a victim of these crimes. Okay, sir. So thank you all. I feel like I know that it's a 2 hours, 1.5 hour session, but I have tried to make it as simple so that you are all able to understand the basic concepts. So this is my email ID. This is my phone number. Those who are interested in any more queries can just reach me.